Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Spittin' Seeds. I'm Seed Person One. This is episode number 8. We're going to be talking about flowering do's and don'ts. I don't have anybody with me at the moment because I didn't send the link out ahead of time, but looks like we're getting some people in the chat. What's up, Chief and Heavy, Ice and I? Here's the link coming up to you. Anybody that wants to join, click that with a name that we know, and I will happily let you in. If you want to smoke or hang out or talk about flowering or show your garden or anything like that, we're here and we would love to have you on. Also, make sure you're in live chat. Yeah. Pop my chat out here. Close this down. Looks like we got somebody hopping in already. It's been an eventful week. What's up, Ice and I? Welcome.
Cheers.
Good to see you, buddy. It looks like Jace is hopping in here too. What's up, Haas? I see you in the chat. Hey, Jace, good to see you, buddy.
What's going on, Seed Person? Nice to know. How y'all doing?
Pretty good. How's your back feeling, man? Your neck?
Man, I think it's a little bit better. I got the chiropractor again tomorrow, so hopefully that next session will alleviate some more of the pain there. But I'm hoping like it's on the downswing and eventually I'll get it's taking its sweet ass time though, I'll tell you what, but it does feel a little bit better. I'll say a little from the beginning, it feels a lot better, but it still hurts quite a bit.
Yeah, unfortunately, that does seem to have a lingering pain, especially if it's spinal. But I'm glad to hear you're doing better. You're feeling better. Implants are looking great.
Thanks. Yeah, I went a day. There's been a couple days this grow where I haven't even got a chance to come in here and do anything to them. You know, just life got busy and I feel bad when I don't even open the tent door to take a look at it to see what's going on. That's my fear. Like I miss a day and I come back and it's gonna
Everything's
be a
dead.
catastrophe.
No.
Yeah, everything's dead. They all got balls hanging off of them.
Fuck. It's all dead and seeded and dried out, and
It's like a
just because I
sausage
missed
fest
the
going
one
on
day.
there.
What you doing over there, Ice and I? Making tea? Oh, you're muted.
Yep. Yogurt? Is it a yogurt session?
Don't mess with the water and try and mess with your phone. This thing.
Jace is on the money there. Just sterilising my yogurt containers. I'm about to strain some yogurt that I've just made.
Awesome. That's really cool. We'll get to see that, yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, what's up?
Basically, oh, sorry.
No,
basically, these have just been through the dishwasher, but we all know that when you use dishwashing tablets, I don't know about you, but if you've got a dishwasher, everything that comes out of there, I rinse under the tap anyway to wash off anything that the dishwasher's possibly left behind, because we know that they don't use good stuff in them tablets. Anyways, I'll just fill these up with boiling water, and I'm just gonna sterilise them basically because I don't want my yogurt going mouldy. I want it to keep for 2 weeks.
nice. That is an effective sterilization technique, boiling water. And kill all the microbes.
Pasteurization was called.
Yep. Louis Pasteur invented that. French guy. I know that from school.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah. Hey, Jace, are you smoking on anything over there?
No, not yet. I don't know, I might fire something up here a little bit, or I might just go from the good old reliable edibles again. They've been doing me right.
Just full of gummies.
Yeah, I made a new batch over the weekend. That last batch I made. So when I get done, I like to air dry them for a little bit. You basically just like set them out and let because like they'll have a little moisture on the surface, and you're not supposed to do it for too long. And basically, long story short, I went too long, and like some of the edges, like on the feet of the gummy bears, they were a little hard, a little chewy. So I mean, they were still fine, but texture wise, it was rough trying to get those down.
Give you jaw workout.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made a new batch, and they're good. I used a little bit more oil this time. I just out of curiosity, and yeah, they came out a little oily, so I'm not gonna do that again next time. Try
Gotcha.
one there.
Yeah.
While I'm waiting for them to cool down, I can't show you the flower room today because they're on 12 and 12, so they're on darkness. But yeah, here's the veg. Put some the ones that were struggling, I've potted up, as you can see.
Oh yeah, they grew right out of it.
Yes, even the ones that were struggling, like I said, they just needed a decent watering basically, and get just, you know, they took a bit of a hit because I fed them. That was all it was. Yeah, they're all now coming up out of it. Some of them are actually. I've thinned a couple. I've topped a couple. So we'll see what happens. Whether I get. I've done it with like I said, the technique where you just peel it back till you get to that little tip in the middle, and just chop off of that. But as you go, as you can see, it's all going good. This one here, particularly at the front, is stood up and tall above everything else. It's got a really nice funk about it. This is, I'd say, like really sour, funky, not chemi, but more of a sort of like a sour D. But yeah, it's probably going to be a male.
That's how it goes.
But
You
yeah,
look good though, man.
this is nice. This has got some sort of, oh, I keep, that's just nice. Whatever it is, you know, I haven't really gone around and smelt all of them. I just had a little bit of a, when I was potting this one up, I had a little bit of a smell of it. And yeah, every time I come in here now, I just sort of like just grab a bit of the leaf and, oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
But
But
then you
like I
can't
said,
do that with the other leaves because you're gonna smell that first one.
yeah. Well, you have to change your fingers, don't you? You know,
Yeah.
change your hands or
Or get some
whatever.
coffee grinds like they got at Sephora. You know, you got to reset your olfactory system between fragrances.
That's right. A palate cleanser, right?
Uh-huh.
A little smell on one of these red ones. The ones with it's got this red vein in it. Don't smell it. They got a little bit of a funk about them, but this is that one I was in. That's pungent. That's if I was going to call a strain a keeper, that one's showing a keeper vibes already. When you've got a small veg, you know, it's got a couple of nodes on it and veg, and it thinks
Yeah.
even if it's a male, like just use that pollen because it just stinks so much. It's got quite a
It's
nice
awesome.
structure on it as well.
Well, are you gonna use it if it's a male?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll probably just dust because I'll probably take half of what's in that veg tent and flip into flour in the big room, and I'll probably flip the rest inside that veg tent and see what's what. And like I said, if stuff stands out, I'll either use some pollen that I now produce, or I'll go back to the pollen that I've already got and take them up another generation.
There
So
you
yeah,
go.
so I don't think it really matters really. As long as I'm creating something and you know I'm enjoying it, having fun whilst I'm doing it.
Yep. That's what it's about, having fun.
They're cool enough, I would imagine.
Awesome. I'm gonna put you on the spotlight. And then when we're finished there, I make sure we get over to see your plants, Chase, here in a little bit.
Right on.
We get to see homemade yogurt. That's pretty fucking cool.
Basically, you know what I do? This is the finish of. I think I fermented this for 14 hours. I've just now polished up I've got an instructional video where I do the step-by-step process and describe what I'm putting in it and everything else and the possible benefits, you know, depending on. But, you know, there's some good science behind what I'm doing and the stuff I'm adding to it anyway. Yeah, I just polished up another one, sort of like an AI generated video for the making of this yogurt. So, yeah, instead of me going on for 40 minutes for actually making it and doing the process, you got one that's about 4 or 5 minutes long. Yeah,
Nice.
this is
And
nice and
everybody
set.
go
I'm just
follow Ice and I.
gonna strain it into it like you know, you can eat it like this. This is what you'd buy in but I want Greek style yogurt. And the benefit of straining the whey or separating some of the whey out of it is this. I now use that from a starter culture for the next batch. You know, and I can also gift this starter culture to anybody that's interested in making yogurt. So at some point in the future, I'm going to get a freeze dryer so I can freeze dry my starter culture, and I should be able to ship that worldwide, and you know that'll be stable at room temperature. As it goes at the minute, my starter culture is going to be liquid and it's going to be have to kept refrigerated. But yeah,
So that's good for the gut, right? It's like probiotics or something.
yeah. Well, I've actually done research into specific strains of bacteria, and I'm using a pomegranate extract as a food source for bifidobacterium, and I've got some inulin in there as well, which is a fermentable prebiotic. And the two of those are the bacteria, the inulin, the pomegranate extract are going to produce a compound called urolithin A. And if you have a look at the benefits of urolithin A, the only way you can get this is through your gut. And you know, like I've always said, we can manipulate our guts. And the other thing I've added into it is some of this tributyrin as a butyrate generator. So I'm also going to be producing butyrate, which is what you get from being in ketosis. You get, you know, it's like a ketones, and it's good for anti-cat. All the the urolithinase, they're good for what they call mitophagy. You might have heard of autophagy, where you clean your cells and everything just gets cleaned out and recycled. Well, autophagy is your mitochondria, and if you done any sort of research into disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, all these sort of diseases, the normal or the root cause of most of these problems start with your mitochondria. When they start to fail and function properly and just go rogue, that's when the other diseases will get set in. And if you can recycle these, and it's like your cells energy. If you do research, so my yogurt, you know, I've ran it through AI. You're like, this is something else. You know, you're really onto something here. You know, is if you try to buy this urolithin A, it's gonna be really expensive and hard to, you know. There's only a couple of places that I've seen it available, but yeah, the research is solid, and I think I'm onto something. I noticed when I have my yogurt, everything, like I feel good, my mood, my guts, everything just, you know, it's not just your guts, it's not just your mood, it's all this cellular activity, your brain, because there's all this stuff in there that like there's other. I've
It's
got a
like
blend of other ones that go in there as well. That all this brain, what they call BDNF, is brain derived nootropic factor, and all this stuff comes from your guts. It's really amazing. But yeah,
all the building blocks for things like dopamine and other neurotransmitters
neurotransmitters.
are
Yeah,
they're all created down in the gut and then transported up into the brain. So if you don't have a healthy gut biome, then you're not going to be producing those building blocks that your brain needs to make you feel normal and or good. Yeah, it makes
yeah.
total sense, dude.
Yeah, like depression. They've linked some sort of like depressions and some mental illnesses, even maybe as far as autism as a disruption in your microbiome, so you're not producing the chemicals you need to feed your brain. And as they say, you've got more neurons in your gut than you have inside your brain.
The other thing with these fermented things is that there's been some new research. I just saw that they're talking about fermented foods help the bacteria helps break down microplastics in the human body as well. So like
Yeah,
kombucha or kimchi or anything like that that's fermented. What was the other thing I was thinking of? Oh, like this whole thing reminds
pesticides.
me of like sourdough starters and scope keeping
They're also
alive and then putting it in a bunch of stuff that you're testing.
yeah, they're also at some point I'd love to get this sort of
My
analysed. And you're all right, brother. I was just going to say, at some point, I will send a sample of my stuff off to get it analysed. But of the, you know, there is science behind how rapidly these microbes will reproduce under certain temperature and conditions. So I've put all the information into the AI, and they're, I'm starting with 36 billion colony forming units, and by the time I've now finished the 14-hour ferment on it, it works out there's like 500 trillion. So when you take one of those probiotic tablets, it's 30. It's just like one spoonful of my yogurt is like the equivalent to like taking, and it's fresh. It's like all that goodness, the short chain fatty acids, the urolithin that I produce, the butyrate. It's just a powerhouse of, I'm going to call this a genuine superfood.
You ever throw in some fruit like some raspberries or strawberries or anything?
You don't
You
need
can
it.
do. All these polyphenols, all these vibrant, just that's why I've used the pomegranate extract. There's something in these called the larger tannins in the pomegranates, and then the bifidobacterium will consume these larger tannins. There's a few other bacteria that will do it, but the bifidobacterium are the best ones, and they reckon bifidobacterium go on to feed something else. You get this cross feeding of bacteria inside your gut that you can't actually buy in a packet or in a supplement. You were born with it. And the bifidobacterium feed these go on to feed your other bacteria. So that's another plus side of using these bifidos is they and all Rosabra and Fico Fecali something or other. They're in all these people that have got colorectal cancer and things like this and other problems, they are lacking in these vital microorganisms or their microbiome. And the only way you can really get these, you're either born with them. You normally get them wiped out when you have a course of antibiotics or lifestyle. Normally, you can wipe these ones out because they're quite sensitive. But if you consume the bifidobacterium and some other ones, you can actually promote them. You can't actually take them; you have to feed them. If you get what I'm saying. Yeah, you
Or you
can't.
can get them from somebody else if you do a fecal
Yeah,
transplant,
a fecal
something like
matter
that.
transplant,
Yeah,
FMT. Yeah,
that's fun.
but to be honest with you, I reckon this is probably just as good. For actually, this actually the stuff like I said, the butyrate and all that is going to repair your gut lining, what they call tight junctions. It's going to allow all this stuff that maybe you're having food allergies and reactions because your guts is permeable. Well, this is going to fix all of that. All your lining and all your esophagus. It's going to put all the bacteria in the right places. It's going to stop the bad ones from overgrowing. Yes, like I said, this is a proper genuine. I did go on about it because I don't know. I'm really sort of like I think it could.
You're
I could
passionate
sell it at
about
the
it.
end of the day.
Yeah, you're passionate about it. That's good. And you know a lot about it.
Well, yeah,
I wanted to say welcome to XYZ Vector. How's it going, man?
I've always been big into probiotics and stuff, and I used to just do a lot of research and find out who the manufacturers were and order them specific strains, and just I was constantly having to purchase this stuff. And then I was looking into other supplements and like when I was finding out about mitochondria, and I'm like, oh, how do you make your mitochondria healthier and better? And then I find out about these urolithins and like, how are they made? And then they're like, oh, they're made by your gut bacteria. So I put two and two together, and I'm like, can I manipulate this process now and use my gut bacteria to produce these urolithins? And I've just got, and I broke the whole process down, and now I put it all into sort of like one container, added a few extra bits and bobs, and there you go, Bob's your uncle.
Awesome. Hey, I want to say welcome to XYZ Vector. How's it going,
Hey,
man? Are
oh,
you
just
in a
been
hurry
busy.
or uh
No. I want to go back to my other house, but right now it's rush hour, so I'm like, fuck, I want to hurry up and get there, but I got all night, so I'm not gonna leave till after the show's over. That way traffic's dead.
Okay, cool. Well, I was gonna say we can maybe jump over to Jace's plants here.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
maybe get into the topic I put up for today was flowering do's and don'ts. So if anybody has any tips or tricks or things that you're doing that you think need to be shared or anything like that, yeah, we'll get into that. But I want to spotlight this. There you go. Jace, are you up for sharing what's going on in here?
Yeah, just a second.
No worries, bro. I know you had some things that you did recently in your tents. Maybe you want to share a little bit about that.
Yeah, so you guys been following along. You can already see that there's only 2 plants in here instead of 3. So that would be my first suggestion on the do's and don'ts is don't grow a male plant with your females. So I had
Unless
one
you
herm.
are trying to make seeds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, matter of fact, when I first met you, I guess it was through Smot on his show. And back then, I was just on the sideline watching, and I saw you. I was like, "Dang, look at this guy! He's got 3 tents, and he's got males and females in the same tent on purpose." But yeah, I had one here in the middle that Queen of the South. It started herming out on me, so I made a quick decision on that. I didn't want to. I mean, I've seen people, cut off those affected branches, and sometimes you'll still get some good stuff out of it. But I didn't want to struggle or suffer through it, especially with my arm hurting and everything. It's already been rough enough grow as it is, so I just got rid of it. I didn't want to struggle because I still got one left over here. That one on the left there, that's still Queen of the South. So I'll still get some bud off that strain. But
That's
yeah,
a
I just
different plant though, right? Not the same plant that hermed. You had two of
well,
them, right?
yeah. See, that's the thing, and I knew when I got these seeds, just because the nature of how I got them, that there was a good chance that they wouldn't make it through. I was hoping I'd get lucky, and hopefully on this one I still do. But I mean, these are pretty much just bag seeds. I think I told y'all before. I had that bud that someone got me. This is like one of my favorite strains. And when I was breaking it open or when I was grinding it up or breaking it up to put it in my grinder, I saw a couple seeds in it. So those were the 2 seeds. So it's the same plant that I got the seeds from, but one of them hermed out. They're expressing themselves very differently. Like the one that hermed out, it was quite a bit shorter than this one, so it's a lot less vigorous. So that worked out okay, I guess. I mean, I still got 3 clones that I took from this plant, so I'll be able to preserve the genetics. I mean, hoping they don't herm out on me too. It's not showing any signs yet, so I'll just keep an eye on it, make sure. Hopefully, I caught that other one fast enough to where it didn't pollinate anything in here.
Sometimes a weak plant will show you that you might have a light leak or something like that. Have you checked?
Yeah, I was talking to XYZ about that. No, I don't have any light leaks in here. I checked. So that plant, the location was right here in the middle, so it was in between these two, and it was actually shorter. But yeah, I didn't see any light in here. I think it was just like I said, the nature of how I got the seeds. I mean, because I had heard that if a plant herms out, if you get a seed or a clone from it, there's a good chance it's going to herm out as well. So if I got those seeds from, bud, then obviously that plant had hermed to an extent to produce seeds in there. So that's what I'm thinking, at least.
That
Yeah.
instability trait in the plants isn't always necessarily a bad thing because a lot of the more popular, like, well-known strains were from herms and things like that. So, you know, I I don't know. I mean, if you're not looking to make seeds, yeah, I would probably pull it out there, but maybe try and run it again if you have a clone of it and just see if it does it again because it could have just been a fluke.
Yeah, I thought about that. 'Cause see, I went ahead and threw away those other 3 clones too that I had from it because I just didn't want to mess with trying to keep those alive, knowing that the parent plant had already hermed out on that one.
Just can run it
This,
outdoors or someone
uh,
else
yeah, no,
if you
I
like it
don't
that
know.
much.
Yeah, and I do, and that's why I took those clones. I'm going to try to keep this going, so we'll see how the smoke is off this one. I might try to keep it going through the generations. But this is Goth Girl right here. She's starting to get some nice buds on her already. I'm just now
And
about to start week 5 tomorrow. Tomorrow starts week 5. So yeah, It's amazing. I had a whole nother plant in here. I'm thinking where, I mean, I got a little bit of room on the side, but well, I mean,
Yeah,
also I stretched it out a little bit too when so I tied this one down to pull this open a little bit to try to get more light in there since I got the extra space I might as well.
yeah, it's pretty tight tent there. Having three in there would be crazy.
Yeah, maybe that was a blessing in disguise that that one got going.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got going on that one. And then, of course, this one over here was busting at the seams. So these two up here, I had to tie them away. So they're actually like coming on the side of the light right now. I had to tie them off over here on the high CFM bar that I've got there. So that's why this plant, like there's not too much in the center. Like I had to tie everything away to try to get it out of the light, like that one in the back, way back there. Right there. It's behind the light, like it's going up behind the light back there. And then that one's almost up into it. This one back here, this is the one I super cropped. And we were talking about do's and don'ts. Um, this actually paid off, but I wouldn't do that. Going into flower, really any type of high stress training. I mean, some people consider super cropping low stress. I don't know. It's pretty high stress for me, but it pretty much died off. Like the leaves, they were just limp biscuit on me, and I kept it going, just to let it ride out. And it looks like it recovered. Like the leaves are still green and going up top, so maybe she's recovered.
You're running out of tent there, buddy.
I know, man. That's why I told C Person I'm going to get another gorilla, but shit, those things are expensive. Or
Well,
grow
you got
smaller plants.
yeah, you got that carbon filter in there. You could flip it so it's on top. You have the roof space to the roof.
Yeah, honestly, even if I had that out of there, because I like to get 18 inches distance on this canopy between that and the light, just the way the coverage is on it, the way it's designed. But even then, that wouldn't have been 18 inches. It would have been maybe a foot, which is still fine. But 'cause that's the bad thing about this light, like the footprint, like left to right, like widthways, it covers the whole light or the whole tent, but widthways on the 2 foot side of it, it's not as wide. So like you have, I don't know, a good 6 to 8 inches, where it doesn't go to the edge of the tent. So you lose that. You lose that. You don't get light directly underneath that. So you have to raise the light up to get it to broadcast out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you're saying if the plants grow up past the light, then they don't get light on them? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean,
I'm just fucking with you. No,
I'm doing an
you're
experiment. I mean, they
doing
look
your,
pretty,
you're
they're
making it
shaded.
work, man. You're making it work.
Hey, whatever it takes, I took the risers off the bottom of those two just to try to get everything I could out of it. But yeah, these things are
Oh,
still growing. I mean, I did this, what was it? Yeah, Sunday I was on here and they still had, a good inch or two before they were into the light. Now they're past it. So I'm on week 5 and these things are still growing vertically a little bit.
yeah, I would be super cropping those suckers. I'd be doing whatever I had to get them under that light.
Yeah, that's why, well, I didn't get them under, at least the top buds there, but at least they're still alive and not frying up in the light.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be okay. I think they'll still get enough light, underneath it to get some good buds on top. And that way I don't have to just get rid of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know super crop you said makes you nervous, but I mean, yeah, when I had that happen to me, I mean, you just gotta go easy when you're super cropping. I mean, you just rub them between your forefinger and your thumb, just gently, and just keep rubbing until you feel it, starting to lose its stoutness, and you just bend it over. But you have to have something to hold it up too. I mean, you just super crop it without something to hold it, you're just gonna break the branch.
Yeah, that's what I did. I put that grafting tape on there and then I've been it twice. Yeah, you can see where it split down there a little bit. And then
Well, I mean,
I had a yo-yo going up
yeah,
to hold it,
yeah, you'll
but
need that
it's
yo-yo for a minute.
yeah, it's supporting itself. I just took it off literally like right before the show started. I wanted to see if it would support itself, and so far it is. Hope I don't come in here and that sucker's laying over. That's what happened to
Yeah.
this one, right? This one right here. That's why this one's so beat up. So what I did was this first knuckle was when they was first growing out, I was using garden stakes and it was trying to pull itself up out of it and it kind of tore right here. So that's why this one's bent downwards like that because I was trying to slow the growth on this and let this one grow up because it slows its growth when it's trying to repair itself. And it
Oh
worked,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
then I didn't stay on top of it and it ran away from me again. So I had to super crop it again right here. That's the second knuckle right here. And then when I did, it made it too soft. And I what I did was so here's this top right now, the one I was just showing you. This used to be the tallest one on the plant by far, and that's why I did that. So when I super cropped it that last time, I kind of laid it on the plant, the neighbor to it, and it was supporting it just fine. And I came in here one day, I was getting some leaf discoloration like on these top leaves, and I thought it was light burn on the edges. And then I saw a leaf like way down at the bottom that had the same thing. I'm like, what the hell is it? Why is it doing that down there? What had happened was that whole freaking cola had laid over, and this thing was just like laying sideways in here. So
Ooh.
that's how it got that much shorter. I had to come back and put a yo-yo on it and tie it up.
So how long did you veg these for?
4 weeks from getting seed wet. 4 or 5 weeks, I
Wow.
think. Yeah.
Okay.
Stretchers. Hey,
Yeah, this thing.
real quick, I wanted to shout out Art, man. He's in chat. He had cataract surgery today. He said everything went well. He's feeling good, clear vision, but very tired. So gets hope
Yeah, cheers
you.
to recovery on that, man. I know I'm ready to see you painting again. He's probably got x-ray vision by now.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, he's got like white instead of clear whatchamacallit, the pupils.
Yeah. And then there's my clones. I only got 3 left. These have already got 4 nodes on them already. Those ones I threw away, they had some really nice roots. I just started giving them veg newts yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. I've only watered these 3 times in like a week and a half. I've just been haven't been drinking it up. But I'm trying to drag these out as long as I can because I'll probably have to reclone these again at some point because I still got, yeah, probably at least 4 weeks left before I get a tent open. So I know these ain't going to make it 4 weeks in here. So I might get 2 weeks out of it. Who knows? But yeah, once I get to that point, then I can clone them again. And
Cool.
that's what I got as far as my grill
Awesome.
going.
Thanks for sharing, man. Looking great. And I think that was a blessing in disguise with the plant not working out for you because at least now you got plenty of room for those other ones. Also, I
Yeah.
just wanted to say real quick that we're having some crazy weather here right now. So, and it said my connection was unstable. So if the internet goes out or anything like that, I'll try and get it started back up. But um, yeah, just a fair warning for anybody that's watching. If it cuts out, it's probably because a tree fell down somewhere near me.
So
We had
hey,
some bad weather here too.
Jace,
So,
how you liking
yo,
your AC Infinity AI?
um, honestly, I haven't been using the AI portion of it. I've been using my program, but I like it. I
He's
mean,
got the
even
real eye, the
yeah,
human
Yeah.
eye.
the capital
Mm.
I. Um, I mean, it's nice even if you don't use the AI features. I like the extra features and settings that it has versus the old controller. Um, has a lot of extra stuff it added in there. So I'm about to pre-order the reservoir or the hydro sensor. They're
Oh.
releasing it sometime in quarter 2, so sometime next month to the end of April. So yeah, I'll probably go ahead and pre-order that. So once that comes in, I'll have to disconnect my CO2 sensor because the AI controller only has 2 sensor ports.
Oh,
And
that sucks.
your temperature humidity probe takes up one of them because they redesigned that. So it's not your audio jack plug anymore. It's a USB-C connector, just like the other ones are. So you lose a
Huh.
port right there. So really, you only have 1 sensor port out of the like 5 sensors that they're making, have released or will release.
Can
So
you put
they're
in
supposed to be
a
working on it.
can you put in a what do you call it an extent? A multiple port extender.
Yeah, so they sell splitters right now. I've got some I have a two-way splitter, and they sell four-way splitters, so you can turn one port into four. But the problem is it's shared information, so it has to be the same type of device. So like just say like you have four clip fans plugged into the same one. So when you control it from your controller, it's going to change the setting for all four of them at the same time. You can't independently control them because it can't uh,
Distinguish between them. Yeah.
differentiate. Yeah, so I think they're working on maybe a splitter or something that will be able to do that for the sensor ports, hopefully. Because yeah, that's I mean that's kind of dumb if you ask me, having a new controller like that and going through all this and having the big hoopla for the release, and you can only have one extra sensor on it at a time.
Got plug and play capability.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah. So we'll just wait and see. I mean, I did contact AC Infinity about it, and they did reassure me that they're working on that, a way to rectify that situation. So hopefully hopefully they don't just come out with a new controller and I got to buy a new controller that has four ports on it.
Oh,
It
that
just
sucks.
strikes me as odd that they went through how much time and money testing and inventing and putting that shit together, and then nobody was like, maybe we should put a couple extra ports on this thing. I feel like there's some other thing going
No,
on here.
that's where they get you on the resale.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah. There has
For
to be
the
some
next
type of
piece of
motive behind
equipment.
that.
Yeah, the next piece of equipment, you're going to need a new controller with 5 ports.
Well,
Would
he's
you
got
say that
8.
would you say that AC Infinity is like the Apple of grow equipment? Maybe. They got some cool
Yeah.
shit, but then you got to buy the other stuff too to go with it and stay in the AC Infinity family if you want it all to work together.
Maybe
Yeah.
I
not
don't
quite
know,
as
just a
expensive as
random.
Apple is.
Yeah, fair enough.
There's some
They're
ways
not
around
open.
it to get it to work with other stuff, but I mean, it's
I'm not
not
as smart
easy.
as you, dude.
Yeah,
It's not as open source as it should be. Put it that way.
I
You know,
agree
you
with
buy
that.
it. When you buy it, you should be able to do whatever you want with it. You know, you should. It shouldn't come with you're not allowed to use other people's operating systems with our techno or with our devices and things like that, or the firmware. You're not allowed to alter the firmware. That's mine. I own it.
Speaking of
Yeah.
technology, XYZ, do you want to show your grow there?
Yeah, my plants are sleeping, but yeah, sure. I'll fire up the old camera.
Yeah,
So
speaking of
yeah.
plants, we haven't talked to you in a while. What do you got running in there?
I got 3 trop cherries crossed with I keep forgetting. I
White
was growing
truffle
them big.
cheese.
No, it's
Oh,
Gold Cash
like
Gold.
yeah,
that's what it
GCG.
was. Because I had the GC times white truffle cheese, and yeah, I knew
Yeah,
it was one of
they're
them.
asleep right now, but I haven't. Well, they're just barely
Don't
starting.
open it. Don't open it.
Quick,
Oh,
quick little. Yeah,
oh, they're in veg. I got you.
yeah. They just started. They're only a week old.
That's right. For some reason, I was thinking you had a full tent, but you
How
just
do you,
set this
how
I
do you
one
like
up
those
here.
did.
rock wools?
I did, but I had to get rid of them because I couldn't really bring them over. They're getting too
Ooh.
big. The Rockville's okay. I mean, I'm gonna have to pot them up tonight or tomorrow. Which the sucky part about the Rockville is I got to pre-soak it, and these Hugo cubes are each a gallon roughly. The 6x6s I'm going into, so I have to make up like 5 gallons of nutrients to do it, to pre-soak them. But yeah, I mean, I got to clean up some wiring, but I mean, I just kind of threw it together real quick just to get it running so I could, get my seeds going. I'm trying to get them done before the death of summer because it gets real hot out here in Hellzona. So
You should
yeah,
pop a
it's all
couple
run.
more and run it 12-12 from start. Get it
Nah,
going.
well,
No.
nah. I was really liking what was going on with them the grow that I had to shit can.
Mm,
And I mean, I was getting them shaped up just like Jace got his shaped up, and they're short and bushy, and they're going to be good plants, but I just couldn't bring them with me
yeah.
because there's too much of a lag time between me getting them out and then getting a tent set up and all that shit and getting it all moved over.
So you're
Because,
not
yeah,
running a doser this time, are you?
Oh no, Doser's over here. Doser's in the and don't mind the mess. I'm still moving in. But yeah, that's another project I gotta get done. I mean, I got projects going on all over, but at least my living room's pretty much squared up almost, and my bedroom.
Yeah, looking
Got
good, man.
Yeah, I got my TV hung up, and I finally got bed, and I was sleeping on an air mattress. But yeah, it's a little Spartan, but I don't like cleaning shit, and less shit is usually better. So
Yeah.
yeah, I got my. So that's the project for tonight. I got to get it plumbed in with water back here in the laundry room. I've got my RO system set up.
Hey,
So
real quick, I just want to say somebody's trying to join with the as Zoom user, and I'm not going to let you in unless you have a name that we recognize from chat or like Instagram or something like that. So, please try and come back in if you can put in a name that we recognize, and I'll happily let you in. And also, Texas Weed Hopper is here, or TX Weed Hopper. Sorry, I always say
oh,
Texas.
cheers,
Yeah, it's
cheers,
okay. You can
Texas.
go with either.
And then yeah, I got so much to do. So it's
But
my
it's
day
you enjoy
off.
it though, right?
It's okay. I really don't like setting shit up. It's kind of a pain. I'd rather just sit and enjoy it, but it's got to get done. So yeah, let's see if we can do the infinity view. Nope, my camera's lagged. But
Yeah,
anyways,
there's a delay on it for the YouTube.
yep. So and just getting set up. So and the thing I got to really do is, I mean, yeah, I got everything working, but I need to go through and like my grow room, do some wire management, get everything, zip tied up and cleaned up so it doesn't look like I got a freaking a damn switchboard of crap. So yeah, it's
Well,
coming together though.
yeah, it is, man. Thanks for sharing your update there. I want to jump over to TX Weed Hopper. Welcome to the show, man. How's it going?
It's going just fine. I was gonna try and lop off my last plant, but I couldn't hold a phone and do it at the same time. So I got everything hanging now.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad that you had a successful harvest because that was a big ass room that you had going with all those.
Yeah.
Hang on 1 second. I'm coming. Let me just
Yeah, I bet you that was a job to chop down that room.
there we go. All right, you're spotlighted.
Ugh. Yeah, I'll go up high first. You're talking about flour. I didn't go after the bottoms too heavy on these.
Yeah, it looks you got a lot of lower stuff there still.
Yeah, I got some decent buds.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying you didn't. I'm just yeah, you didn't strip it like some of the people on the panel do.
Right. I did a
That's
little
a
more on the runt, but she was right down on the pot, so it was still low. But I don't know. It's nice now that everything's chopped and dropped and hanging. All I got to do is tweak the temperature and the humidity and turn the lights out.
Yeah, it smells lovely in there, doesn't it?
that's
It's a lot of flour.
it's an awesome view. If it was me, I would be like laying on the floor, just staring up. It's like one of
Yeah.
those hanging gardens, kind of, or whatever.
It is
Well,
kind of highlighted by the lights in the back.
Yeah,
well, seed person. I mean, you did grow the upside down clone, so
yeah.
That's
But
right. He
we still
did.
got to do the actual upside down whole plant.
Oh, but
yeah.
yeah, the Grim Truffles was still continuing to foxtail and shoot pistols, and I just cut it off. And Rosetta Stone could have probably gone 3 or 4 more days, but you got to balance it with the ones that are done already. This is that Tie Hair 99, and it is just so frosty. It's just covered with trichomes.
Let
And
me ask you,
the
which
Cindy
one?
purple turned really purple.
It's beautiful. Which one are you gonna smoke first once they're dry? Which one's like, I
Uh,
can't wait for that one?
There's There's only 2 in here that I've grown before, so well, three. So
Well,
the
which
two
one
two two's
did
putting
you
on
have your
some real
eye on?
interesting. Sorry, the 222's putting on some real interesting smells. So I'm curious about what that's like.
Okay,
And
very cool.
anybody, okay, this kind of bud that's like super. I don't know. The sugar leaves are just like. Is it like a washer or a squisher where it's just too much of a bitch to trim, or you just cut off all that sugar leaf and you end up with a bud under there?
Yeah, pretty much. I buy or even they're the sort of ones that I would brush, just handle roughly. I'd buck them down, throw them in a fucking box or a trim bin or whatever, and just shake or trim bag and shake the shit out of it. Fuck putting
Yeah,
scissors to that.
it's on the smaller side of what I'm used to.
At least you get some hash or some you can make something else with. At the end of it, like a trim bag or like I say, just put it in a trim bin and just knock the shit out of knock the when it's dry, you'll just knock all that off.
Or dry it and trim off the fan leaves and use it for edibles or something.
Yeah.
Tumble it a little bit.
But yeah, I'm
That's such a
excited.
cool view, man.
I'm
I love
excited
it.
about all of it, really. Takes so long.
And you put a lot of work into it. That's awesome, man. I'm really happy for you. That's a good expression of your growing abilities.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It
Hey,
was
Texas.
it was quite interesting using blue mats for the first time and growing that long in these 7-gallon pots with uh dry amendments.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Texas. How do you like your blue mats? I mean, how much of a pain in the ass were they?
Oh, well, they're not too much of a pain in the ass, and they're well worth what you gotta put into them. The this these drip rings, they will spring leaks and rupture, so you kind of got to watch after them because when it stops watering evenly because it's got a pinhole on it or the seam got a little split or something, um, you'll end up with hydrophobic soil, and then it's not really it's not really running away. It's just running off because your soil got hydrophobic because it wasn't watering right. You know what I mean?
So
And
what?
it seems like once your soil gets more homogeneous, it works better as well. At first, I was having the problems with the air bubbles, but I found out that I wasn't tightening the caps tight enough on the carrots. Ugh. And I think that's where it was coming from. The other thing you got to watch out for is moving these pots around. You don't want to kink your water line because if it goes dry, then it'll become hydrophobic after it doesn't water when it's supposed to, and then when it does finally water, it'll run off. But anyway, it wasn't too bad, but I couldn't leave it with the wife and go on vacation or anything. So if you're looking for that, I don't know, you probably want to have some kind of safety measures.
It's a sort of like it takes away a bit of stress of going in and watering, but then it adds the stress of you got to be constantly checking to make sure I ain't fucked up on you. So you take one stress and add another.
It definitely waters better than I can, and it's on the plant's demand, which is cool. And it was really fun watching how much they drank because you wouldn't believe how many times I filled that trash can, and I honestly, the taking it out of my back where I'm crawling around with my spray bottle or my watering thing, watering by hand, it hurts after a while. And you can't do it. Well, I never have done a scrog net.
So your system's under pressure. What pressure are you running those dripper
They,
the
they,
knitters?
they say that tape's good up to 10 psi, but I
Oh
had
god,
9 after I had the couple of the line or the things uh, get
split.
get holes in them or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, so the weak link is those little white rings you got there.
Yeah,
Sounds like.
they actually have hard plastic ones that have built-in filters, but there's like I forget how many emitters is on the 10-inch, but this is like this ring waters all over it. It's like a soaker hose.
Okay,
Whereas others are just drip emitters in several locations.
gotcha.
I haven't tried those, but they say those are good for this kind of stuff. In fact, that might be half my problem too, because I've got smaller pots. I got to use a ring that's kind of smaller, and maybe the radius is something that doesn't like to bend to. I don't know.
Yeah, well, hey, it's better than watering by hand, but you say you still have to work out some more bugs with those rings. That sucks.
Okay, honestly, I only got water overflowing my drip pan on 2 occasions, and that's because I didn't pay attention because it takes over 12 hours for that to happen. It's a real slow watering thing. So I didn't check it one day or didn't notice it, and then it got enough in it that it got a little water on the floor, but it wasn't nothing I couldn't wipe up.
Yeah, yeah, I've had water issues like that, especially setting up my RO system. God, thing's a nightmare.
Yeah, maybe with a little more practice, I'll figure out how to uh, crop steer and stuff with it. Um, it's it's not that bad. I don't want to give it a bad name, but I can understand why people get frustrated when people are trying to learn it and maybe not given enough information or being asked the right questions and then not getting good information and just getting totally frustrated with it. But
I will say that Blue Mats does have a lot of instructional videos on their website on how to use their stuff, and you really got to follow their directions to a fucking T. Like, make sure that carrot has 0 bubbles in it when you cap it and things like that. Like
yeah,
be assume that you're doing it wrong and be extra like on it with it, and you know, and then
Make
hopefully
sure
it'll
you
work out
soak.
for you. But a lot of
right.
the problems of the runaways and stuff are from people thinking they got all the bubbles out of the inside of the carrot when they go and seal it, and they didn't. And there's a little air bubble in there that pops up and drops the valve,
The diaphragm, yeah,
Yeah, see, I watched all those videos and I was
just comes leaking out.
about those bubbles, and that's the first thing I checked when I got a little runaway. I put it underwater and opened it up, and lo and behold, a big old bubble.
Yep.
So I didn't know where that was coming from, but the carrot's a two-way thing. The water goes in and out of it. So I guess maybe I,
So it's because the
I wasn't grabbing the cap tight
Had a
enough
little bit of a
and
pull.
tightening it tight enough, and I think that the air was coming in the cap.
Doesn't generally doesn't leave the carrot. It creates a negative pressure effect
hmm
through the
right.
porcelain,
Boy,
which then opens the diaphragm in that valve.
yeah, yeah,
Technically, they're not supposed to actually. You might over a long period of time get a bit of a loss, but I would imagine people that have got air in there just didn't, seal it up properly, or it was just add a little bit of a
A
meniscus
good,
gap on the top.
I tell you what,
yeah.
if your tubing twists around and gets a kink in it, it'll stop watering, and that carrot will drain out and go dry.
Yeah,
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 if the carrot gets dry, it'll fuck up the pressure on the inside, and then you won't get that hole
Yeah,
on it. But you know what a good tip is for people that are using this. Take that carrot when you go to, like, you have to boil the water, let it cool, then put the carrot in the water, and make sure there's no bubbles in it. Then screw the cap on it, and then take it out, let it sit for 20 minutes, then go back to your pot of water and go and open it up and see if any bubbles come out, and then seal it again. That way you have like a double check on it.
Well, I have the sensor the I use as a backup because I'm running something very similar to this, but it's electronic. It's all electronic. But I use the Blue Mat. You know how they have that one that sensor with the little display on top that tells you how much vacuum you're pulling.
Yeah.
What I do is I actually vacuum degas that water that I use in that sensor.
Just by heating it up.
No. You need special equipment to degas water. You need basically a vacuum pump they use to pull vacuums on ACs,
Yeah.
and then you need a pot and you pour water into it, and then you basically turn on the vacuum pump, and it'll literally boil off and suck all the air bubbles out of it.
Hey, real quick, I wanted to say welcome to Vark Dog. I saw you come in, and then we were getting into the conversation, and I forgot. So, welcome to the show. Do you have a minute to hang out, and we can jump over to you next?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh,
I
you're
use
good.
RO water or distilled water for filling up the carrots. Just
Yeah.
pure, because it's got no calcium in there to cause anything to, calcify up.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to see you on the show. Me and Vark Dog met on Instagram. He's a fellow cheap home grower, and he's doing something cool with some strains over there. So I invited him to come hang out with us on the show. I'm gonna put you
Yeah,
on
I
the
don't know.
spotlight if you're ready
Yeah,
for that.
yeah, man. Go ahead.
There you go. And then can you turn your phone to the side so we can get a full screen? There you go. Awesome.
There you go. So a lot of my Spartan stuff popped off really nice. I got some Spartan Pukes and some Project V's that are taking off really well. I got a couple of your goth girls going over here, and some of these how do you pronounce that? Kundas?
Kundos, I think.
Kundos, yeah, popped
Yeah.
one of those just for the hell of it. There's still another Project V right there. And then under here are the seedlings that you sent me for my second try at the Velvet Punch.
Did the
And
second, did they go?
well, so far it looks like just two of the Violet Beauregards have popped. I still got nothing out of the Velvet Punch. I don't know where I'm going wrong on those, but I can't seem to get those seeds to pop. Even all of these trays were even all full of those seeds as well, and I just nothing's coming up.
I had the same issue. I tried to pop 3 velvet punches, or no, 7, and I didn't even. I got one to start, but it just kind of petered out.
Yeah, I can't seem to get any of them to get going. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Not you. I would imagine it's you. It's the seeds.
Yeah.
If
I'm gonna
there's
reach
that
out to
many not
Jack.
starting,
Yeah, I reached out to him. He was real cool and everything. He offered to send me more. I actually told him that divert them your way, seeds, because you hooked me up. So I'm like, well, just send whatever you were gonna give me over to seeds. These are actually some seedlings from a fuck up from last round. I caught a herm, and it ended up seeding all my plants in my room. And being that it was from a hermed plant seeding, I figured they should all be fem seeds. So I figured I'd throw them in and see what the hell happens.
Yeah, man. That's the best way to learn is to try it. What was
Yeah,
the strain?
it was ice cream cake and white runs. To
That
be
sounds
honest,
good.
man, yeah, it was kind of like a fat, real sugary coated kind of dense buds. I ended up catching a light leak through this. So this is actually a lower exhaust fan that draws in like cool basement air.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, I kind of taped it all off inside of there with some shiny foil tape, and it must have caught like a weird glare. So I kind of did myself a double thing and took some heater venting or heater filter and cut those up there. And then on the outside, I ended up hooking up some fucking flex pipe and just kind of bent it down into the corner like that. And I'm hoping that that should alleviate my light leak problem. After I flipped or, finished my room off, I came inside of here and had my wife standing outside flashing flashlights everywhere, and I couldn't see any form of light leak. So I think I got it all solved.
That's good. It also could have just been a genetics thing, you know.
Yeah, they
Just
were just shitty seeds from my buddy who I think got them from, some event that he went to. And I'm like, oh, that sounds good. I'll give him a try.
yeah, it happens. Just looking at that. Sorry, go ahead, Ison.
You're right. You could just put stocking on the end of that thing as well, just to make sure, like a dark stock, and that'll also act as a bit of a filter for your intake.
Oh yeah,
what I was gonna say was that rectangle on the wall there, it looks perfect sized for a aquarium carbon filter, and those are like a black color.
Right. Yeah.
You could just staple that on there as well if you are at
I
like
just
Petco or something or whatever.
Okay, I just kind of rigged together some wood. I'm a general contractor, so I just kind of built a room rather than going with a tent.
Oh yeah.
I made this platform. It's pretty cool. I got it on a set of casters so I can roll it all around the room. And then it's sorry, one sec. I built the whole thing with like drain shower pans because I build bathrooms all the time. And ran a drain, and then underneath there is just like a oil catch pan, so I can flush the hell out of all my plants, wash my platform off, do whatever I gotta do, catch the water, and it not be a problem all over my damn floor. And then I just took an old bathroom exhaust fan and ran that, and then it exhausts outside of my house to kill all the smell, and just a couple fans in the corner of the room. Little heater over there, speaker, bowl, see person one. Oh, this is that. This is that city picker that I built.
Yeah.
Out of basically a Home Depot bucket and some 4-inch PVC pipe and some landscaping fabric. I found this dude online on YouTube that basically shows you step by step how to build the thing. And I built it for $15. My question, so it holds about 20 gallons of soil. Should I do 2 or 3 plants in there?
You could probably do 3. I mean, I don't
have nice cutouts on the top there on either side. One on either side. I'd do 2 in that, but
you'd do 2 in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can put 4 holes in there, but put 2 in there, and then you can go to the alternative holes on the next. You can just cut them off and leave it in there, and then you can use like. Do you get what I'm saying? You put 4 holes in there evenly, but only use 2 on each, one on each end each time.
Yep. That's like Artman's setup. He's got all the holes, but he covers up the ones he's not using, depending on the size of the plants.
I actually just. Oh, I'm sorry. I just have that sitting there so my soil doesn't dry out. I kind of have it cooking. I was actually just going to try to do a tarp and then buy one of those like sticky zippers and then, run a zipper or a couple zippers on the thing so I could kind of unzip the plant rather than actually use the plastic top. But you're saying use the plastic top?
Yeah, and just cut holes in it and just plant directly into the holes.
Oh, okay.
And you want your hole just big enough to get your root ball through it, I suppose.
So something similar to what I did with this, like this is another little DIY water cloner, basically / deep water culture system. I suppose you could cut. Oh,
Yeah, but you
Uh-oh.
just want four. You want four decent sized holes in there, so you could get like what they call them, 10 centimeter square pots. Like like your little pots. So you want to measure up one of them pots and cut your holes to the width of that. So when you
Oh,
plant it,
okay.
you just go straight out of the pot into that.
Okay, and then just let it kind of like grow up through the hole and let it be.
Yeah,
And then I
Yeah, or
heard,
even fill it up to like within like an inch or a half inch of the lid of soil.
okay, I heard
I don't know.
Spartan too saying
That way
in
it's not
his,
trying to grow up and then it maybe catch the side of the hole or anything like that. Like when it's, I don't know. I'm really stoned. So sorry, continue.
no worries. I heard Spartan saying he doesn't actually fill the whole reservoir up with water. He feeds it like a gallon at a time.
I
Is that been your experience using those?
I've only used it one time and I think I did it wrong, so I'm not the person to ask, but I do remember him saying that as well. I think it was
Okay.
Spartan.
I would imagine it depends on your environment. If you're in a hotter environment, it's going to burn through the water and everything else a lot quicker. It's going to evaporate off. If it's cooler, the water's going to stay around a lot longer. The longer the water's staying around, it's just got more chance of going stagnant, stale, growing stuff in it. Maybe that's the reason.
Okay. That all makes sense. Like right
Like
now, I'm sitting
if it was
at,
outside in the sun, getting bacon hot, you can expect it to, you'd want to fill it to make sure it doesn't dry out. But if you're indoors, it's not getting really baking temperatures and whatever. It's gonna hold that water in there for a lot longer. Maybe cause a. But to be honest with you, I don't think that really shouldn't be much of an issue. The whole thing is sort of like going to be highly condensation and water anyway. But you'll get some good root formations because that's what they love. They love that humidity inside that container.
Also a tip with those the earth boxes is get like a piece of styrofoam or something that fits down in that hole and you can or anything that floats and make a little float valve, mark it when it's full and mark it when it's empty, and then you'll always know how much water's in there without having to try and look down that hole and figure it out.
Do you not have a cutout hole on the side of it, sort of like a maximum level? So that's the
Oh
only
yeah, like
yeah,
an
I,
overflow hole. Yeah,
I
yeah,
do. I do. It's against the wall. You just can't see it right now.
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. So it doesn't mean you can't really overfill it. You fill it up until it runs off out your overflow a little bit and leave it until it's pretty much dry. Yeah. But like I say, if you were in a cold, like I say, environment where it's not consuming the water, or you've got small plants in it, maybe you can afford to hold the water back a bit. But if you had a big plant that was consuming the water, you just better off just filling it right up.
How big do you think I should let like these get before I try to transplant them inside of that thing?
As soon as you've comfortably filled out the roots in that pot,
Okay.
just judge it up. It's like you're potting up. You want it's outgrown that pot. Now it's time to move it into the city picker. Maybe
Okay.
maybe not that big. Maybe that big pot there is a little bit too big, or But I'd go from the solo cup size into that city picker myself and veg up because you want to veg in it. You don't want to flip it straight to flower. You want to give it a week. Put down some roots in there.
That's what I kind of figured out. I didn't know if I should go from like this or
Yeah,
like a 1 gallon kind of size, like where I got my pepper started over
no,
there.
I'd go from them little ones. To be personal, but in my
Oh,
opinion,
okay.
just give it. Just let it. Once
So
that
even
little,
something like this size?
yeah, you could
Okay.
probably on your first one you could probably get four in. You could do the four. I don't know. It's up to you, but I'd do the two. So you then got a blank spot if you want to chop one out or ship fails, you can just throw another one in. Is a fail safe in that way, and like I say, when it comes to harvest time, you can just go straight back into it in the spare hole. Just chop it off and replant.
Okay. Yeah, I
You
still
just,
don't know if I got males or females yet. So I was gonna throw them all in those like 1 gallons, kind of grow them up a little bit, and then top them and take those toppings over to that water cloner I got and flip my little light over there to 12-hour light, and then just kind of make marks of this clone here, and
we'll
try to
save it,
determine the sex then.
or save it for feminized that you know is a fem, like yeah, like you say, a clone or just a feminized seed. You know that you know you ain't got to fuck about with.
Yeah.
Don't be putting your, because like I said, you're gonna just waste your time.
Yeah, that's why I kind of figured I'd start with the 1 gallons and try to figure out what sex each thing was, and then ditch all my males, and then at that point maybe toss them over to the city picker.
Yeah, it's going to be a job, potting up a 1 gallon into that city picker. That's why I said, that small one you can just cut a nice, you can cut that hole out that city picker quite easily. Potting up putting a 1 gallon in there, you're just gonna. I don't know. I don't see there's much point in going into the city picker from that. You know,
Okay.
the little
Well,
ones are ideal. That's all I'm saying is, you want your small solo cup size sort of plant, go in there, a week, 2 weeks, veg in there, flip it to flower.
oh, okay. Well, thank you for the advice. I appreciate it.
That's right. But, well, you'll find whatever works for you. Eventually, you'll get a routine, and you'll probably be able to plan for it then. It's like, right, I need to start these plant, a couple of weeks before you harvest, and then you'll judge, or your clones or whatever, you'll know what size you want them to go in there and everything else.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for letting me on the show here. And
Oh, for
Seeds,
sure.
thank you very much for taking good care of me. I know you don't know me real well, man, so I really appreciate it, dude. You've been
Oh
really
no,
cool.
it's all
We know
good. It's a
growers.
community thing, you know? Because I heard that Varkdog is doing a cheap home grow, and I did a cheap home grow, and I thought that was really cool that had that shared experience. So, yeah, thanks for coming and showing your plants, man. And you're welcome to hang out and smoke up with us, or jump back and chat, or whatever you need to do. Yeah,
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thanks.
yeah, for sure, man. So I changed the title of this to open panel on YouTube because we have not really had too much flowering talk, or maybe I didn't. I don't know. I tried to. Because yeah, we haven't got into it, but we can still do a little bit of flowering talk if you guys are up for that. I thought we could talk about, let me see, where's my notes here? So there's some stuff because I was at work and I was just sitting around, bored because my work is boring, but looking at screens, and started thinking about what are some things that I would want to share with like somebody who's just getting into flower, just getting into flower and maybe doesn't have like a lot of experience growing. So the things that I wrote down here are light schedules, environment, IPM, re-veg, herms, flowering times versus pack times. Anybody want to talk about any of that stuff? Any of that catch your ear?
Yeah. About some flowering.
Yeah.
You guys still hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
hear you.
Okay, I'm in my car now, driving across
Okay.
town. Anyways, yeah. So my last grow, I got a lot of color out of my plants just by using the far red and running lower temperatures during the flower phase, especially at night. I actually hooked up an AC to my tent, and I was getting down in like the 55 at night, and it really brought out the colors.
That's a good point. Colder temperatures will make the plant want to create more, or produce more anthocyanin, and it's gonna be a deeper fade when it fades, and you're gonna end up with, as the chlorophyll dies off, the anthocyanins that are left are gonna give you a lot of beautiful colors in your plant's leaves, as well as maybe the buds too. But
Yeah.
I found that's more genetic.
Don't be pulling leaves off buds. That's a tip. Don't be pulling leaves off buds. And if you're handling, if you're going to handle buds, touch them. Make sure you got clean hands. Go wash your hands first. You know, don't be going from your fucking around with your soil and whatever and doing all your stuff and then going and touching some buds. That's a big mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could lead to some powdery mildew.
Or bud rot or anything. You don't want any bacteria in a microclimate like a growing flower because it's going to be perfect for any kind of like bacterial growth or any shit like that, mildew or anything.
Yeah, you gotta treat it like
Yep.
food. I mean, it's a consumable. You know, it's not something you don't want your dirty, greasy ass hands on because that's gonna be in your mouth
That's
at some
right.
point.
Treat it like
Yeah.
food.
I just bought a
Yeah.
cheap box of those gloves and threw them in my room.
Yep. And those come in handy for trimming too. I think you're breaking up XYZ.
Use the nitrile. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. What about nitrile?
Yeah. I like to use nitrile gloves when you're trimming because your hands will get fucking sticky if
Oh
you don't.
yeah.
But you can't. But there's one thing: you can't clean your hat. You can't wash them with solvent afterwards, alcohol, because that will melt the nitrile gloves. You have to have latex if you want to consume. Yeah, because I learned that one through making the RSO. I used the nitrile gloves when I was making the RSO, and the ethanol just went straight through them gloves and burnt the shit out of my hands.
Wait, so you're like from trimming into alcohol and it's what dissolving the trichomes off of the gloves? I've never heard of that. That's cool.
Yeah.
No,
But not
it's all
nitrile.
No, you can do it off the latex ones. You can then just wash dip your gloves in some alcohol and rinse it off. But you can't do it with the nitrile ones because they'll just melt the
I
gloves.
got you.
And if you're using alcohol, isopropyl or anything like that, the nitrile gloves are no good for you. They're just gonna melt away. And whether the trichomes or anything like that, because or the terpenes, we know some of these can be a little bit corrosive. Whether they will affect the nitrile or I know it's just from using the alcohol, but they just dissolved pretty much instantly. So whether they're just weak and whether you'd want to be getting whether that's going to be coming off in your product, your terps, because they're sticky and they're also a little bit corrosive. So they're a little bit of caution against the nitrile gloves.
These are good tips. Also I would say powder free latex gloves, not the powdered ones, because that'll get all over your shit. Yeah, I have bone to pick with people, but people that are breeders that sell seeds and say, my plant's done in 56 days of flower. And then you grow it and you're like, I'm on day 57 and it's not even close to being done. And then I see so many people say, well, oh, this is the number on the back of the pack of seeds. So I'm
I think some people are like,
cutting it down. And it's like, no, it's not done yet.
You were breaking up then again. I don't know if it's me or you just dropped out, so I just jumped in. But sometimes there's like some people are like, "Oh, when do you start counting? Is it from the day you flip the flowers, or from the day you see the first pre-flowers? Is that when the count starts? Or it could be a case of he did get that plant done in 56 days, but it was just one phenotype." And he grew it perfectly. He didn't stunt it. There was nothing wrong. It just went perfectly the whole way through, and it got done on time. But the average grower isn't perfect. They're not going to, if you're going to get that specific phenotype as well. I mean, the AK-48, they brought that one out, and they gave it the name 48 because it was done in 48 days. You know what I mean? But it's all about, it's all as well. It's like, it's your opinion as to, is it done for you? Another person be like, well, I think I needed another 10 days or another 2 weeks. Some people might be like, well, I would have done it. I would have took it a week ago.
Yeah. Well, am I breaking up now, or can you guys hear me?
You're right.
Okay. No, yeah, it's like people, it plays off of people's like, I want immediate gratification. Who's got like, how much weed can I get as fast as possible? I want to smoke my flowers. Like, oh, this one says 45 days or whatever, like that's the one I'm gonna buy. That's why people put it on their packs, I think. And it's like harvesting fruit or vegetables. Like, yes, maybe some people do like, things overripe or past the like whatever, date is like ripe to you. But there are people that, I don't know very many people that are on purpose harvesting their tomatoes while they're still green, unless they're doing something like frying them. But you're not putting that shit on your salad, and I wouldn't do that with my cannabis either, you know.
But the agricultural industry would harvest all that shit early and let it ripen up in the transportation process, just
Yeah,
to
just
keep it
put some
more viable.
ethylene. I'm gonna jar my buds up, and then I'm gonna put ethylene gas in there, and they'll be ready in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. That'll fucking take terps, man. That'll fucking dissolve your terps.
Don't do that, people. That's a bad idea. I was joking. But yeah, no, like there's better ways to tell when your plant is done than counting days. The things that I in general look for be
In essence.
less like maybe the white hairs, the pistils are all turning brown, maybe there's only a couple that keep popping up here and there. Like I would be within the window for that. Then you look at the trichomes, and there's a window for that as well. The clear ones are going to have less cannabinoids in them. Cloudy ones are going to be your peak THC, and then amber is starting to be overripe. And you wanted people like different percentages of those different trichomes. So that would be like what is ripe to you.
Plant senescence,
The senescence as well. Yep, and the senescence is a fancy
word
it, for
even if it's not showing it, like in the leaves are all fading and stuff like that. There's subtle signs like the growth stops. It stops drinking water. All these little signals that are telling you're at the end or getting close to it.
Yeah, I don't know about John, because I can actually see like the EC in my media, and what will happen is it'll just stop eating food. Period. Just
You're breaking up, man, or maybe it was me.
I got that. It was basically you can see his plants are not consuming any food anymore. Whereas you can see on his EC or whatever, he's
yeah. Yep, I did catch that part. It was unclear on the last bit there, but yeah, if you monitor your runoff EC, that's another clue to tell you that your plants are getting close to being finished. And that would bring you to like the whole flushing versus feeding to the end thing is like, or if you're still feeding it, like, but it's still like your EC is the same coming out, then what are you doing essentially except giving it the water out of that, or whatever?
Yeah, you are essentially, but it could go the other way. Say, if you're not you're not measuring EC, you're not in hydro or whatever, and you want to make sure there's the worst thing to do is to starve the plant. It's like you still want it to have food available to it, whether it's using it or not. Yeah, you don't want it to be the other way. I want food and I can't get none. That's when you're going to end up with things like bud rot and things like that, because it's now got an issue. It's lacking now. In my opinion, you want to keep
that's a fair point.
It's healthy.
Oh yeah, that's a very good point.
Don't starve. I've always had this opinion where people starving their plants and you expect them to be finished healthily. No, don't starve your plant. It's got its own brain. It'll work out what food and everything it wants. Just make sure don't cut the food off. Unless you're using dodgy shit that needs to be flushed out,
Well, but
It's
that at that
irrelevant.
point, you're not really flushing anything out of the plant. You're flushing it out of the root zone.
Medium.
If
Yeah.
it's in the plant, then it's in the plant. Like you can't get it out if it's systemic or something. No,
Yeah,
that's a good
Yeah.
point. And I was gonna say, if general hydroponics feed chart even has like it doesn't say stop giving it, it tapers it down to a lower dose, but it's still you're still giving the plant nutrients. I know that feed chart well because I've been using it for a couple of years now, but I'm sure other ones are the same where you're tapering it down at the end.
yeah, they are.
Yeah, and same thing for well, if you're growing a cocoa because you're supplementing CalMag, you gotta titrate that down as well too. So you start reducing that. Like I'll start doing it mid flower, and then once you get in the late flower, you basically give me none because it doesn't need nearly as much nitrogen at that point. But unfortunately, CalMag does contain nitrogen, some more than others, but it still needs it at that point too.
Yeah, it's just an alien concept to me because I'm growing in living soil and beds, and if I try and flush the plants I got in there, I want to pot up into, I then go all that shit I've now flushed out. I now got to try and put all that back for the next one. That's yeah, it's
Yeah,
counterintuitive in
yeah,
my
it's
in
a
my
different.
opinion.
That's
I
a
think the two
different. That's a. Go
I think
ahead.
the 2 week flush is kind of gone. I mean, I don't know. I think it's been disproven, a lot here recently. At least I feel that way. I mean, I personally, if I flush at all, it's maybe 3 days at most, or just that last day or day and a half.
Yeah, or if you've done something wrong, you've overferted or you forgot to pH it and you now got to run another fucking shitload of shit through. That's the only time it gets flushed generally. You know what I mean? And they make products. I don't know. I've never used one of these flushing agents. Has anyone ever used one of them? Just out of interest. Since we're on the talking of flushing.
I have not.
Yeah,
No,
I've
I
used
use
it. It
Sorry,
wasn't
XYZ.
go
worth it.
It's
Yeah,
what?
I
Is it
used it.
worth it?
No, no, not at all. Not at all. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
we're all just being quiet so we can hear you. Go ahead.
Hold on.
This is probably a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I flush it. I used to flush once and it didn't really do anything for me. And I think it made it worse. It was my
yeah,
first grow, so I didn't
make
know
more
any better.
nutrients available. Is that like a surfactant?
I would assume it's more like a humic acid or something, right?
Yeah, it's
Or maybe both. I think he's breaking up.
yes, so
hey, am I back?
kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
Jay,
okay. Well, it's kind of hard in the car.
yeah, you're good, brother. Focus on the road. I'm gonna let Jace
Yep.
take the mic
So
here.
I haven't used like a dedicated flushing agent per se, but the nutrient line I'm running, which is Athena right now, they have a product called Cleanse that you use. Whether you don't have to use it if you're running an irrigation system, you probably should. But all it is hypochlorous acid, and that's what they recommend as a flushing agent. It's a descalant, so it's gonna kind of break up the salts and stuff at the root zone. And you just increase that to like I think it's like 10 milliliters per gallon. Um, and honestly, at that point, when I get to flush, I just use tap water. I don't pH it. I mean, I'm not trying to worry about the pH. I don't want the plants taking up nutrients at that point.
I guess the a fair like thing to point out would be the difference between flushing versus just feeding water. Because a lot of people they say I'm flushing my plant at the grow, but they're just feeding it water instead of nutrients.
Yeah.
When you're flushing your plant, you're pouring gallons and gallons and gallons of water to wash anything out of the media in the root zone. Like if you mix up your nutrients or something, or you realize that, oh man, I really shouldn't have put that in there, or I need to do something to get that out. You can put it in the sink and run the tap on it for, 10 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, because I
You-
don't think that you're
Every
actually like flushing nutrient. I mean, the plants absorb those nutrients. You're not going to flush it out by just dumping some water down it for a few days. I mean, it's there.
I've tried flushing organics once, and yeah, that doesn't really work. You know, you could be you could put fucking 20 times the amount of fucking water through as the volume of soil you got, and it's just not even touched in it. It's not even, you know, it's just like you give it a couple of minutes and the pH just goes out of whack. Once it's got so much organic matter in there, it's like, yeah, you can't flush that.
That'd be best in like cocoa or peat moss or something like that.
Yeah, with
That
synthetic
you're feeding with
nutrients.
synthetic nutrients. Exactly. Yeah.
I've had my pH so out of whack, and I'm putting sort of like a, you know, I can't remember what the pH is reading, maybe a 5 or an 8 or something like that, and I'm putting in the opposite end of things, yeah, and it's coming out exactly the fucking same as I'm trying, you know. I'm like, fuck me, you know what I mean? What the, you know, and it gives you the actual sort of like the power of the rhizosphere. But I've dumped 20 gallons of pH 5 through here trying to correct a pH 8 coming out of the bottom, and it's just not even shifting it.
Another thing that I don't like to do in flower is like any type of high stress to it, like, you know, cutting the plant, like topping, or you don't want to be doing any high stress training at that point. I'll lollipop in flower, but I just don't want that stress on the plant. I don't want any more risk of it herming out, or plus I don't want it dedicating energy to trying to repair itself. I want that energy going to bud production.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do
That's
no super cropping past 3 weeks into flowering. That'd be the last time I consider sort of like breaking a stem on a flower. But
Yeah,
yeah,
unless it's like an emergency situation like I had.
and that
Yeah,
was something I sent out ago
yeah. If
was
you're
the cutting
all,
leaves off wallflower. It's an open wound that, sorry, go ahead, XYZ.
yeah, if you're touching your lights like Jace, that needs an intervention, I think.
yeah. I put a gangster lean on them once. I normally put a rope around the top, then tie it, anchor it to something directly opposite over the other side, and then it'll just bend over. That'll stand, you know, but you'll give it that bend at the top. All the buds will just turn upright along the thing, but the top you've now got this clearance at the top. Just try and bend it over in between a couple of plants, yeah, and try and sort of, you know, I call it a gangster lean. You don't actually super crop it. You just put a rope on the top by just underneath your terminal bud, and just tug on it till it goes down, and then anchor it. It's where you into as soon as you've got like 6 inches, 8 inches underneath that light, yeah, and just anchor it off.
Or you could go one further. You know the light ratchets you use to raise your lights? Put one of those on, wrap it around the top, and then like slowly pull on it every day to bring it over a little bit more each day.
Yeah, you can, like I said, you can do that. You can pretty much bow them straight, you know, enough to what I call a gangster. Then you can do that on any plant. You ain't got to adjust it each day. That'll just go over pretty much until the pot. If you got it in a pot, you can lean it over until the pot starts coming off the floor.
Man,
Gangsta.
Yeah, welcome
gangster lean's a big
J5.
hit.
I'll say, I think you coined a new term, Asana, because I'm
Yeah.
going to
Okay.
use that. That's a gangster lean. Welcome
Iced out with the
J5. How you doing,
gangsta
buddy?
lean. Iced out with the gangsta lean. Am I on mute? No, I'm not. Hey, what up, guys?
Hey, how's it
And
going,
if
bud?
Not much.
J percentage.
What was that? What
if
I'm
you've
at?
got them in a tent, sorry, cheers J5. If you got them in a tent, you can let them gangster lean outside. You know, they do the flop out of the tent. You know, do that one.
I love it. What's going on, J5? What are you smoking on over there?
Haven't made it on yet. Been meaning to, but I haven't had much going on around here. Be popping seeds here soon. That's what I was hopping on for, to shout out some of the homies that have sent me some goodies here. I just got to one of my seed mailing spots and picked up my packages. So I have some new seed that I will be
Awesome.
running this year. I see this guy here is in chat, so let me give him a shout out first. Whoops. Where'd it go? Where's
I
the
know who
sticker?
you're going to say.
Oh, you do, huh?
I think I do.
Hootie hoo! What up, fist bump? Hootie. Cheers, homie. I got all kinds of huli. I got 5 different packs.
That strawberry hoolie there.
I got the strawberry huli here. Look at this. Oh, and I just dumped shit. Whoops. There we go. Ah, shoot. I got the strawberry huli. I have got a Hindu Kush by Permanent Profile.
Nice.
I have got the Hooley's Green Apple, which is alien sour, hit with Hooley the Martian watermelon cut. I have got this one I'm excited about, the Island Hawaiian. Sweet Island backcross hit with the Hawaiian skunk.
Oh, dude, I want some of that. That
Yeah,
sounds
that
awesome.
one's getting popped.
Bring that one on, man.
And then we got the Grape Hooley. Yeah, big up Hooley. Good girl me in the community. Always very, very generous. And I got a slap somewhere. Oh yeah, right over here. Can you see that in the corner?
Yeah.
Driven Genetics. What up, Hooley? Right next to C Person 1.
Hell
And
yeah.
up next we got Mr. Oops. Am I here? Mr. Greenfingers, Salton Sea. Some of his slaps. Various slaps. I like this one. Shout out Mr. Robert Greenfingers Thomas. And he sent me motherfucking Greenfingers Thomas. I seen he knows what's up. And from him, he sent me, well, let's get this one out of the way. Most importantly, first and foremost, this little teeny vial here contains a UK cheese hit with the Space Dude male of TGA fame, otherwise known as Dairy Queen. And this one will be heading across the pond here to Mr. Icini because he is a big fan of that one. And also, Greenfingers hit. Where is it? I'm missing it. It's somewhere here. Anyway, he hit. He also hit the Dairy Queen with the Magnum Opus. Magnum Opus is of Mandelbrot fame. This one was worked by Katsu. He also hit Porn Star Sweat with the Magnum Opus. Porn Star Sweat is a cultivar from North Star. Another good dude. And I'll be popping these along with Icini. He's got the UK cheese, and I'll be popping the Quirkle, the purple Urkel by the Space Dude.
I'm going to be sending you the Grape Hooley crosses that I've done as well. And
nice. Diamond. Nice.
That's from those are from Joel too, aren't they?
Yep, those are from Joel too. And then I also
recognize that because I have that same vial.
I also have Funky Cold Medina from North Star.
Nice.
All courtesy of Robert motherfucking Thomas. What else have I got here? Oh, I've got the Banana Daddy. I don't know where all that shit went. The Banana Daddy by Mendelbreath by Banana Daddy, I believe. That was the mistake that Buddy Kilowatt made. Oh, here it is, right here. Mendelbreath by Banana God. And Robert moved it to an F2. These are the F2s.
Nice.
And then, last but not least, shout out to Anything Grows, Miss Emily of the Les B Buds fame.
Hey, she just jumped in.
Oh, perfect. What up, Em? She sent me some Red Setter Farm gear, which is kind of cool. I'm kind of excited to check that out. Here I have the Flow hit with the Green Room F2, which Green Room I believe is AC/DC by one of the other CBD cultivars. So that might be a pretty cool 1-to-1 from Mr. Red Setter Farms.
Oh yeah.
Some good meds up in there. There's his little barcode thing. Yeah, that's it. Thanks everybody. Appreciate all of you.
And, good community. Good people in the community.
I'm good hanging out with you again. Anyway.
And I'm smoking the Bubba Leaner, by the way. You asked me that. Of Sour D by Bubba Kush from CSI. Not much of a looker, but good meds.
Well, I know CSI is not one of those people that's just growing for like looks, bag appeal and shit. That's Some OG shit right there.
Oh yeah.
I got some of the Kim D times no, it's sour diesel times Kim Dog maybe. I don't know from him.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, those chem crosses he made are cool. The 91. I like the 91 prefer. That's the queen of the chems in my eyes, but you can't go wrong with D. That's just the powerhouse, you know.
I also got Uzbekistan IBL from him.
Yeah. That's a nice indica style fat leaf, I believe.
Yeah, I was gonna do a landrace run at some point. I think that's gonna be in the list.
Oh yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'll be popping seeds here shit soon. I think the next
How
full
many?
moon's like mid-month.
How many plants?
All of them.
All of them. That's a good answer.
I don't know. We'll see it. Well, last year I did a whole fem garden.
Grow off, isn't it, J5?
What? Yep. I am gonna do the homie hoop house. So I'm gonna have all the homies gear in one of the hoops. I'm gonna have shit. There's gotta be a dozen people I've got fucking shit from now. So that should be pretty cool.
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
If everyone's interested and got some seeds that they're interested in seeing J5 grow out, send them to them.
Yeah.
You got a good chance of getting them in the hoop house.
Don't be sending me no boof because I'm gonna be showing these on the fucking screen, y'all. Like you're gonna be up against all the other chat homies, so you best bring some flame.
That's
'Cause
awesome.
there's definitely some fire in there.
And you're gonna have to be making some rounds come fall on all the shows.
Oh yeah, I do that anyway. That's why I kind of
Well,
figured
yeah.
it'd be kind of cool to have like every show I'd be able to show somebody something, that pertains to them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
especially
really
all
cool.
us indoor growers as well. Having someone grow our stuff outside is a blessing.
Yeah. Different expressions, that's for sure. Definitely see it can be like a completely different plant growing indoors to out. Yeah, it's fun stuff. So yeah, thanks again for picking up this slot, giving people somewhere to hang. Seed Pearson, big up on that.
Oh, it's worth it, man.
Miss you, Smart and Crispy. If you see this, miss you, love you, all that hippie happy stuff. Hope all is well. And yeah.
Did we just lose somebody? Who do we just lose?
Not me.
Not me.
Or maybe I'm crazy.
J5 still alive.
7 people on the screen. I don't know. I'm very stoned. It's that 9-pound hammer, man.
What up? How do you pronounce it? Vark Dog?
Bark Dog. Yeah.
What up, Vark Dog? Nice to meet you, dude.
Thanks, buddy. Nice to meet you.
Bark Dog's doing that cheap home grow me's stuff too.
Yeah, I saw that. He's got a lot of familiar genetics in his garden. That's cool. I like seeing that stuff. Love seeing new gardens, especially when they're filled with homies gear. It's always fun.
Yeah, I'm real new to the whole thing in general. I'm only about a year into growing. I kind of waited till it became legal by me, and then I decided to go ahead and give it a shot.
Oh, it looks like you're well on your way, and you have some carpentry skills. Those are always handy in the grow. You can always find a way to get her done. Find a way to make it work.
Yeah, that's why I chose to build my room. I just kind of framed out a corner in my basement, and then insulated it real good, and then ran plastic, and then some moisture resistant drywall. And then after every run, I hit it with some bleach and water, and then just some real good stain blocking and mold blocking primer to kind of just freshen the space back up again.
Very nice. Yeah, it's important keeping that room clean. IPM isn't a problem if you don't let it become one.
Yeah, I try to always make sure I take a shower before I go in there. Never pet the dog. Always change my clothes and put on gloves whenever I can.
Word.
Keeping me away from spider mites or any of that type of stuff so far. So I guess it's working out all right.
That's good.
Do everything that you said don't do. I can't do.
I was gonna say, or there's the other approach where it's like, fuck it, dude. I want my dog by me. Bugs are bugs. They're gonna be. They're a part of gardening. You know what I mean? No matter how clean you are, eventually something's gonna find its way in there, regardless.
Well,
Always do.
J5, you're outdoor, man. You're a different level than us.
I'm a no
indoors.
spray, no nothing hippie outdoor grower. Yeah, pretty much. I let nature take care of it, but you gotta kind of build towards that. It's not like you can just like make it happen overnight. It's stuff you gotta build towards and plan for, and yeah, pretty much the garden takes care of itself, dude. It's pretty nice. I kind of get a little excited when I see that first aphid. It's like, oh shit, yeah, now I'm gonna have freaking lace wings and ladybugs and all kinds of other stuff around here in the next few days.
So what if you could recommend one thing for IPM, like let's say you get some sort of pest problem in flower, what's your one thing that you're going to reach for to get those pests out of your garden without damaging your flowering buds? Jace, fire.
How far into flower?
Oh, sorry. I thought you said fire, and I was like, damn.
Fire! Burn that
I don't
bitch.
know. Depends. Like, let's say halfway through.
I've
Go
got
ahead.
spider mites, and I washed my plants down halfway through flower. It was a bit of a risk, and I ended up getting bud rot on one cooler. But I applied predatory mites, done the job. I didn't suffer the spider mite problem, but I turned one problem into another with the washing down process, and left it a bit too damp.
Generally, we would say don't spray on your flowering buds because that is the same as touching it. You're introducing microbes and shit.
That was just water. It was, when I say washed it down, yeah, I mean just water. Because you can drown the spider mites if you give enough water. So I was just trying to give the predator mites a bit of a head start, but obviously some moisture had obviously crept into the top cooler at some point, and in one of them, like I said, one bud out of the whole room. If I'd have left the spider mites, I would have probably lost the whole room. So
it's a trade-off.
Yeah.
So mites is the pest we have halfway through flower?
Whatever.
Sure.
Okay. Depending on how
What do you
bad it
do?
is, I've seen shit webbed out, and I'll go in there with the freaking shop vac.
There you go. Manual. That's a manual.
Sucking up branches.
Does that work?
You'd be surprised at how well it works.
Does it like tear up your buds though?
Oh yeah, it tears up the plant. It damages it, but it'll get those webs out of there. Gosh, halfway through flower, I don't even like introducing beneficials or anything at that point. Really, it's like more shit crawling around my flower, shitting in my flower. Oh yeah, dude.
One of my buddies around here just got one of those predator lights.
I mean, that is a route.
And if I ever run into something, I can just kind of borrow it off of him, and then you turn it on. I think for like 5 minutes, you just have to be out of the room, and you put it below your plants, and it shoots up, and it supposedly kills powdery mildew, spider mites, aphids, all sorts of different stuff.
And this is like the perfect instance. Bust that out too. Like other than something like this, like using that as like a preventative is kind of doesn't really make a ton of sense to me. But this would be a perfect spot for it. Halfway through flower with a mite problem, yeah, bust out that light. Because I mean, you could spray something like Dr. Zymes, or I mean, even Lost Coast. They say you can spray well into flower, but I just don't like doing any of that shit.
No, that's bad.
Yeah,
bad juju.
Get that like it's got neem oil and stuff all in it. I would imagine.
Yeah,
right?
I don't use any of it, so I don't know. I have used Dr. Zymes in the past.
There's no neem oil in it. But
in Lost Coast, what's the oil? It's got to be some kind of oil base.
Well, Dr. Zymes is citric acid.
Yeah, Dr. Zymes is nothing really, but it's still citric acid. It leaves a residue. It kind of has a taste to it. Kind of has a funk to it.
Have you guys ever tried the bud washing, where like people are like dunking it in buckets of like the Does that work? And does that like change the flavor of your weed?
I'm not a
Makes
fan of it. I'll do it in certain situations, like if I have like a little bit of PM that I'm dealing with on an outdoor plant. But I don't just wash it just to wash like bugs and shit off. I don't mind a little fucking dirt and grime in my herb, but
I washed the
yeah.
when I said I applied the predatory mites late, I washed them once. But you do lose trichomes, no matter what anyone says. You will lose trichomes in your wash.
Mhm.
Going back to the light real quick, the predatory light or whatever it is that's from Grandmaster level, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and is it UVB or C?
I think
C.
it's C. Yeah.
So
100.
anybody that's using it needs to be extremely careful with it because that shit can blind you and it can cause cancer and
Yeah.
all kinds of bad shit. So
You got to
um,
be out of the
Just DNA.
room when it
Yeah.
turns on.
It destroys DNA. Personally, I think this is a bit of a, should be sold with a health and safety warning. And,
100%.
probably going to be some stoner fucking idiots. They're going to be walking into their rooms forgetting, they've got the UV light.
Have some kind
in
of switch on it.
operation.
There's something that you can't freaking
Yeah.
something.
Like if it detects a human presence in there, automatically
Yeah.
kills or something like that. Yeah.
Because it is dangerous. I'm not a fan of. I'm not. I don't know. I'm not a big
We
fan
want
of.
safe grow rooms. We don't want dangerous grow rooms, in my opinion.
They should put a motion sensor on it or something.
Yeah,
That
I
would be a
agree.
pretty simple solution.
My buddy has it automated when he's sleeping, so he could never has the chance to like walk in on it.
Or
Say,
just-
say the timer messes up.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Shit happens.
Yeah, just put a big spike on it.
Do what?
A big spike.
Okay.
Like,
So my advice is to take care of be more vigilant in your IPM and don't let it get that bad into a fucking halfway through flower. Take care of it before flower. Take care of it the first week of flower. Don't wait till week 5 to notice it.
What do they say? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of whatever.
Or at least a kilo,
bullshit.
I'd say.
Yeah, yeah, pound of weed, man, an ounce of prevention.
I'll give him a key for that.
Yeah.
You got to be scouting. As soon as I see a little bit of a spot on a leaf, a tear, or a chomp out of a leaf, I'm now looking. Probably won't stop until I find the culprit. It's just the way I am. That's the way you need to be. To be honest with you, you see in that when you see like random missing sections out of your leaf, and you're like, you're wondering what it is. You probably got a moth, just a moth hanging around somewhere. Or something small. That likes to consume, because like apart spider mites, you don't see chunks or anything. You just see like a speckled yellow stippling sort of thing. You'll learn to spot what marks bugs make and things like that, and you'll get good at scouting. You can spot spider mites from 500 paces, sort of thing. But yeah, that's what it is. You just need to hone your skills, and you can't hone your skills until you've gone through it. There's a sort of like a first-hand experience sort of thing, really.
And the other thing about it is don't have any kind of knee-jerk reaction to it. If you see some pest in your garden, don't freak out and do something stupid and that you can't undo. Like go talk to somebody, do some research before you apply anything or anything like that, because that was one of my problems was like, oh shit, I got bugs. What do I do? Get the bleach, spray the bleach. Like, no, don't do that. Just calm down and figure out what it is, and then you can do something about it. But
identify it. Best tip is get a decent phone with a decent camera on it, take a close-up picture of it, upload it to Google, search that image. You'll probably come back with quite accurate, if not it's going to nail 100% what your problem is. Then you can look at how to solve that problem. It's going to be a step-by-step process, how to break the cycle, and that's pretty much, identification. misidentification is another big thing. And like, you know, the amount of people I see freaking out over some springtails in the pots. Well, what are these little white bugs jumping around every time I water? You know, and they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I need to treat that," and you're like, "No, no, no, no."
Not
Well,
everything is necessarily like a pest. Some of them are beneficial.
Yeah,
Real quick, this is a good chance to shout out Matthew Gates, Zenthanol, or Sink Angel. He goes by a couple different monikers and handles, but he's got a Patreon. He's a very, very intelligent IPM specialist. He's got a Patreon for $1 a month, and it's kind of like having insurance for pest problems. You can go talk to him, and he'll be anything and tell you how to take care of most of it. So yeah, but we're also down to our last 5 minutes here, so I figure we could go around and do our final thoughts and shout outs before Let's Be Buds is on coming up here. So XYZ, would you like to tell everybody any last thoughts and where they can find you, please?
Yeah, you can find me here at Nello's Pizza, man. I'm getting ready to have some pie, but you can find me on this channel when I'm not sleeping. And the only shout out I got is for Seed Person and everybody else on panel, and then chat.
Cheers. Thanks, man.
cheers,
Thanks
brother.
for coming and enjoy that pizza. Hope it's tasty. Vark Dog, would you like to tell people where they can find you?
I have Varkdog the Grower on Instagram, but no major reason to follow me. Like I said, I'm still pretty new to all this type of stuff, so I'm mainly in here just kind of learning from all you guys. So thanks for all the information. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, and that is a reason for everybody to go follow Vark Dog. So new member of the community, new grower and somebody passionate like they are. Let's go to Ice and I. Can you please tell people where they can?
Yeah, you can find me at IC1 on YouTube. IC Special Branch on Instagram. If you just put IC, then scroll all the way to the bottom. I'll be there because of the shadow ban and stuff. But yeah, might be a bit hard to find me on YouTube because of the shadow ban. And you might have to click channel, search for channel, and just put IC1. That'll pop up then. But yeah, a bit hard to find. But yeah, if you want to find me, you will.
You got to dig for the treasure, you know. Thanks, Ice. J5, you want to tell people where they can find you?
You can find me up in chat talking that can of spec.
All right. Thanks for coming on, man. Good to see you. And not last but not least, we got OK Jace 20. Can you let people know where they can find you, please? You're muted if you're there.
You got
There
me?
you go. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, I just yeah, you can find me on Instagram, OKJs20. And yeah, just shout out to the chat. Thanks for stopping by. Cheers, panel, and peace. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, man. Thanks everybody for coming. I'm seedperson1 on Instagram or seedperson1@gmail.com. I really appreciate everybody in chat, everybody that comes on the show. And I'm really grateful to everybody that has shared seeds with people around in the community, because that's the way to encourage the people to grow, is to give them the ability to do it. So don't make them buy it. If you can afford to share your seeds out, do it. And yeah, that's it. Let's all go hang out at Let's Be Buds and make fun of Uncle Rick. I will talk to y'all later, and grow or love.